Beautiful people. I mean, he just likes and flourishes in beauty. I mean, you look at the way that he dresses. When he was a lawyer, he went to a special tailor that few Africans went to cut him. He's suave, and he likes to look immaculate. I mean, even in his old age, he sort of started a fashion trend with the Madiba shirts.
In the evening, what is that? What do we decide, by the way?
You must, well, it's acceptable for you to wear, and it's not acceptable for you not to wear a bow tie, a black bow tie.
I would like something which indicates that we are not far from the lifestyle of our people.
A bow tie in the evening is formal but festive.
And you look so handsome in it. We've worn it in Washington, you've worn it at the Carlton.
Nothing bow tie, man. It's not something that I would feel most uncomfortable. Every time I put on that thing, I can't even talk. I find it difficult even to talk. I would prefer just a suit.
Okay.
But it must be a dignified suit and so on.
No.
To England. I remembered Her Majesty the Queen invited him for dinner. We were laughing at that time, are you going to wear a tail or this? And he says, no, I've had a very special black shirt that I had made, a silk one, and that's what I'm going to wear. And he wore this basic plain black shirt in silk with a little bit of white trimming.
I think it speaks of a lot of confidence to wear what you personally have claimed as your own look when you meet somebody as formal as the Queen, because there are a whole lot of rules and regulations.
Of course.
He's made it his own national costume, I suppose. That's how he would view it. And he certainly doesn't look out of place, and he doesn't look informally dressed when he's dressed like that.
The way Mandela dresses and he carries it so well, he looked better than the people that were wearing tails.
Guess what he did? When there was nice jazz music that was taking place, he started doing a Madiba jive. And the Queen made a little bit of movement as well, because you can feel that it is real. He's living in a real world.
If you reach that level, not only of statesmanship, but of a global humanitarian, Gandhi basically wore a potato sack, and it didn't really matter. So I think, when Madiba decides to step out in a rather loud shirt, he could also be wearing a potato sack, and nobody really would give a damn.
I've been asked to define style many times, and I've really looked for a definition. And the closest I can get to it is, it's very enigmatic, it's very subtle, but it's that thing that turns heads. So many people with style create their own trends, they create their own lovely look, and it definitely has a lot to do with confidence as well.
We just don't have the made for him, and he literally wants to see the fabric, he gets involved.
In the end of the day, what you wear is really what you feel inside and who you are inside. So it's a very, very good mirror.
times when you were black, doesn't matter whether you're going to look for a job or not, you always used to be well turned out. You've got to be clean, you've got to be smart and be well dressed. That creates an impression.
He was very much part of his era, and anyway, his posture and just, the way he dresses, I think, is ingrained. You get born with style.
A, you would be impressed by the way he's dressed. B, you'd come to the conclusion that he must be somebody important or doing a very important job. Anybody who's well dressed like that would be somebody of stature. He used to part his hair, which we used to call it the division. And, it was a sort of an indication of an educated person. We were much under British influence, our education, and therefore if you were educated or supposed to be educated, you would dress British in what they used to call Oxfords and Butters B hats, So they were all normally well turned out.
He had a shop in Market Street where Nelson Mandela's office wasn't too far away. And he used to pop in, and at that time my father always said that he was very immaculately dressed. He always wore a three-piece suit and always wanted his shirts white.
As any impressionable young lawyer, you're trying to make headway into your professional life, into personal life. There's lots of people to impress, whether it's on the female side or whether it's your work colleagues, or if you're coming up against an apartheid system, you've got to kind of look the part and be able to really, really speak to those kind of people and be at the same level.
He specifically said he needed a grey suit, he needed the right tie, he needed a white shirt, and very, very specific, the suit mustn't be too heavy, it must be three-piece. He was very conscious of what he wears, as you see up to today. And then when he went to Indonesia, an interesting thing happened is that he switched to shirts. And we asked why all of a sudden the shirts. And he wanted to identify with the mass majority of the people in South Africa that weren't wearing suits.
Because it's like I say that a person in suits in the olden days was somebody of stature and a sort of untouchable person. But by wearing a shirt, the way he does it, he's one of the people, he's amongst the people, and identifies with the people.
I'm sorry I'm in such a hurry. Very, very nice. I'm sorry I'm in such a hurry. But I thought that it was important for me to come and shake hands with all of you.
On a few levels, perhaps, he decided to become more like the father of the nation, more accessible. Perhaps that informal style of governance that he had started changing the way he dressed.
Now, that's an ordinary person. Now you look at him as an ordinary person. Don't look at him as a statesman. The statesman comes secondary.
And he had 2 shirts from Indonesia, and then he asked for more. And then he said, no, I should have my own shirts made in South Africa. Let's get fabrics. I then went to Italy to a good manufacturer and said, I need shirts to be made, specifically this shirt. And the president says, no, my shirts must be different, must be longer than a normal shirt.
And then also you must look at it that at the bottom, it must have a cut from here, because most of the shirts are also to use for the outside kind of tagging them out. That's one of the things. And then also you check out your sleeves. When you look at your sleeves as well, straightforward, they must be long. And then also you get these nice cuffs here and the nice buttons, that going across here. This is what you need to check it out, that at the end of the day, when it sits, it must be comfortable on your calves. The main thing that you'll get is that it must have the collar. When you are wearing it, you must button it up here. You cannot leave this open. Once you leave it open, it becomes too casual. And your button must be concealed like here. This is what we call a Madiba shirt.
I think the Madiba shirts are beautiful. I think a lot of people don't know how to wear them. I think they must really look at how Madiba wears them himself. He always buttons the top button. It looks very crisp. He never tucks it in. He's got a very specific way of wearing it. And I'm sure they're starched. They really do look formal. I love them. I think he can wear them always.
I don't want to liken Nelson Mandela to a supermodel, but there's a certain reason why supermodels are supermodels, and it is that incredible stature and a presence. If a supermodel's got that X factor, then Mandela's got like triple X factor, and comes in bucket loads. And if you combine that with the height, and just the way he carries himself, it's an extremely proud and gracious at the same time way of walking and of being. And I just think that, whatever you put on it, you put a suit on him, you put a fancy shirt or something like that, that personality is going to really, really shine out.
I'm going to look like a peacock.
The most important thing you learn from Madiba is it's the person that carries the clothes, not the clothes that carry the person, and that's really important.
Well, as you can see, Madiba was larger than life.